Howdy everyone, Warsarcy here, and since it's been slow with gaming news lately, I'd like to talk about Blizzard and my thoughts on the whole situation that they've made. I know most people consider it's been developing for a week now, are probably up to date on it, but still I'd like to briefly go over all of it and throw in my 2 cents. I'll try to stay on topic, but I may have a few words about China to say, so if you're a China supporter or you work for the Chinese government, not sorry. So of course this all began with the Hong Kong riots because, put simple, they want to retain democracy and basic human rights, something China itself has never liked. That's as simple as I can put it. So if you want to know more details about that sort of stuff, watch any video from last week or so on it. Continuing to where Blizzard fits in on all this, an esports Hearthstone player going by the name Blitzchung said a few words in support of Hong Kong at the end of a stream. Nothing bad, and Blizzard suspended him for a year and revoked his prize money, giving untruthful excuses afterwards and saying it had nothing to do with him supporting Hong Kong. Basically acting as if they weren't latched onto China's nuts, which they are, not to be crude or anything, but that's about as simple as I can put it without going more vulgar. So only after backlash, they went back on the prize money decision, but still suspended him for 6 months. Making things worse, they banned even more esports players who were in support of Hong Kong. They've also started banning people in the chat of their Hearthstone streams that are pro-Hong Kong. Now, after all of this, we're brought to the most recent development in this story. Congress themselves not being happy with Blizzard's decision. The information from this part comes from an article from the Washington Post. Link will be in the description if you want to read the whole article, as I'll just be covering the highlights. It reads that a bipartisan group of senators and Congress members are calling for Activision Blizzard to reconsider its decision to punish Blitzchung for his political speech. The letter itself reads, "Your company claims to stand by one's right to express individual thoughts and opinions, yet many of your own employees believe that Activision Blizzard's to punish Blitzchung runs counter to those values. Because your company is such a pillar of the gaming industry, your disappointing decision could have a chilling effect on gamers who seek to use their platform to promote human rights and basic freedoms." And it was signed by Ron Wyden, Marco Rubio, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Mike Gallagher, and Tom Malinowski. One of these people I never liked, so to keep politics out, I'll just say that I'm proud of them for taking a proper stance on this. Later on in the article, it adds a thing that Greer, the deputy director of the group Fight for the Future, said. Companies should make content moderation decisions based on the needs of their community and humanity as a whole, not based on pressure from governments, whether it's the US, China, or the UK. I'll mention this as well as add my own 2 cents on it in a minute. This next statement I couldn't agree more with. Blizzard is trying to hide the fact that they are blatantly acting as censors on behalf of a government by claiming they just have a blanket ban on all political speech. How you define what speech is political and what speech is okay is a highly political decision in and of itself. Which goes back to what I mentioned earlier about the company and their untruthful statements. They claim to be neutral, yet they are so strongly supporting a foreign government while trying to hide it for one reason: money. I've watched a few videos from a few YouTubers on the matter, and one of them, I can't remember who from, pretty much hit the nail on the coffin in explaining why companies like Blizzard would do this. Basically, a lot of products can pander more to the Chinese audience, and by doing so, they'll have greater profits in China than anywhere else around the world. One thing I'd like to mention is that it doesn't help that America is basically made in China. I'm not trying to be political here, as I'm not into politics, but it's true. I mean, take a look around in your room, whatever room you're watching this video in. Pick something up and look on the back of it. Odds are it will say made in China. But I may have gone off topic here, so let me just state my point here. I don't care who you are or what company you are, especially if you're an American or even just mostly American company. You don't go supporting a foreign oppressive government just because you're afraid you'll lose money or support from that government. There are things called morals that even big corporations need to go by, and it's standard that they go by them. And unfortunately, in the gaming industry, it's big companies like Activision Blizzard that throw morals completely out the door and just want to make literally every single penny that they can get out of absolutely anyone. If you have to rely on a foreign country for the majority of your profits, and in doing so support oppression, then you're obviously doing something wrong. Anyway, I don't want to make this too long a video, so sorry if I was all over the place, but with how long this story has been developing, I wanted to get my word in. Where this story will go next, I have no idea, but I'm sure we'll all be interested in seeing how it ends, hopefully in the favor of not only gamers, but actual people. This is Warstarcy on the Game Clips channel, and I'm out.